Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, folks, welcome back to my class here on Monday. My 11 pluses, the small merry band of the year 4 students. Okay, we're looking at the area and perimeter today. This is a revision for this class, but we hopefully revision favorable as well. So we look at the area of a rectangle. The area of a rectangle is equal to what? Oh well. What is the formula for area of a rectangle?
Length times by width.
Lovely. Length times by width. Now, length and width on a rectangle doesn't really matter which way you call them. The length on the width, but I tend to call the length one, which is the one in front of me, and the width, which is the one on the side. So we have our length and width there. So there's our formula. We have area equals length times by width. Let's just put a little box around it. Okay, that's the formula for area. Lovely. Now, let's put the values in. What we need to do now, Salia, we need to put the values of the length and the width in. It's called substitution. So what is the length? Look over here.
The length is 6.
The length is 6 and the width is?
12.
So under the length put 6 times and under the width put 12. And let's bring the question down. So 6 times by 12 will give us an answer of?
72.
Okay, now we have to make sure that we put the units. Now area is measured in square units and it refers to the space inside the shape. So area equals 72. Now, because we started off in meters, the answer will be in meters squared. So the area would be, for example, we will have, for example, millimeter squared, centimeter squared, meter squared. Them are the typical question that you'll get. But you can't get the odd imperial question. For example, you might have feet squared. But you tend not to have those. And the biggest unit you normally have is kilometers squared. But the first three are the most common one. So area is measured in square units. Okay, so make sure you remember that. Now let's have a look at the, so 72 meters squared is the area inside that shape, which is 6 meters by 12 meters. Now let's have a look at the perimeter. Now when I say perimeter, what am I talking about? Because area is inside the perimeter is what? How would you describe the perimeter? Perimeter is the distance around the shape. Well done. So we I'll call this the blobby method. Put a little blob in the corner, and we have to go all the way around the shape, following each one the length and the width. So the perimeter is the distance around the shape. So here, in this particular instance, the perimeter is equal to the length, which is here, add the width, times by 2, because there are 2 of them. That's a quick way of doing it. Or if you wanted, you could just do length, add width, add length, add width. But as you can imagine, that is more of the longer way of doing it. So the length, add the width, then add the length again, then add the width. But this here is the more shorter, more precise way of doing it. So let's put a little box around that. Lovely. Now let's start doing this calculation. So I'm just gonna bring this equal sign down here a little bit. So I'm just gonna take it down here. Now our length is what? 6. Let's choose a different color. Length is 6. And our width is
12.
We have to add them up and then times it by 2. So 6 add 12 times by 2. 6 add 12 is?
18.
So if you add up the length and width, that's half the shape now. Then we have to double it. 18 times by 2 will give us?
32.
36. Well done. So 36. Now, what is the units for perimeter? Now be careful. Remember, area was square units. What is perimeter measured in?
It's just measured in centimeters.
Just measured in meters and centimeters, right? Let's go back to our brush. So that'll be meters. So perimeter is a measure of length around the outside of a shape. That's what perimeter is. Nice and simple, nothing complicated. Now, I don't know where that yellow's come from, but never mind. So perimeter is measured in normal unit length. Unit length. So what we mean by that unit length is, so we're talking about millimeters. Oops, that looks like a really, okay, millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers, etc., etc. Okay, are we happy with that example? So no matter what kind of measurement gives for the rectangle, this is how we work it out. Them are your two formulas, and that will do you in good stead. Okay.